Prabhas sir wants you to do it. I think he said your name and he said he's the right guy to do it.
See?
I said like, oh, he knows me? Really? Wow. And he knows me and also he trusts me. Wow, great. So let's do it. I really respect, even if the films don't work, whenever I meet a director, there was this one particular director who's made a couple of films and his films didn't work and he is heavily trolled. And when he called me, my AD was there right next to me. And when he called, I immediately answered his call and I started saying sir, 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 sir and all that. And my AD was like, sir, why are you giving respect to him, sir? He's such a bad filmmaker. Why are you calling him sir? He doesn't even deserve being called sir. Such a bad filmmaker he is. Then I schooled my AD saying that, irrespective of what the result of the film, look at the effort that filmmaker is putting in. So nothing. We are working on in an industry which with only like 1% success rate.
You all were being told, and whereas Omraut's Adipurush was getting that. And truly, did you only feel the awkward part of it because they were also acknowledging your effort?
Just by praising you by comparing with something else, then this prize doesn't have a value to it. So I was kind of happy with the recognition individually it is getting, but in comparison, whatever I was receiving, I was not happy with it, because it involves in hurting the other person.
Not because the post-release, what happened to that film or nothing regarding that. Because we are being compared to a film that is made on a 500 crore budget, we are not even 10% of it. Not even 10% of it. So when they are comparing to that level, what are they expecting out of?
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. My guests today are here about such an interesting film. This is a story of the superhero that we've all heard about and we've loved. I'm with the team of HanuMan, which is getting a pan-India release, and so excited to know so much more about it. Of course, it is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But here's my question to you. There is a certain responsibility attached to it.
Of course, ma'am.
Because it is the story of truly a superhero that we all listen about. And what you've done very interestingly, as we see in the teaser, is that you've taken an underdog and a common person and said that this person in need is, like they say it in the trailer, a righteous person who can sort of take the Shakti or the power from the man himself.
Correct.
Which is a very interesting concept. I want to know, is that why the casting of Teja was important to you? Because
Absolutely.
I know you had access to all the superstars, but you've been very loyal to him and he to you from of course, the other film that you all did, and I know that there is this bond. But you could have gone the other way because this is your big one also.
Absolutely, ma'am. This particular story needed an underdog, and in Telugu actors at this, in this time, Teja is the perfect casting for this particular film. There are a lot of actors who've already done superhero stuff. Superhero stuff as in larger than life fights and all that. So Teja, on screen and also off screen, he has an image of a very lovable underdog in our state. So we all love him for the way he's been a child actor. He's been a child actor and we've been seeing him grow. And we all love him. So we are all already empathetic and we all want him to win. At the same time, we'll be very happy if he gets superpowers. So we could not find any other better choice than Teja for this film.
I said that you're a loyal and it goes from your side as well. I saw in the pre-release event you said Dil se bola aapne, because what you said truly.
आप तेलुगु pre-release event देखते?
I do my research.
Great. Good. Very happy to listen.
I do. I actually do watch some events. It was a very emotional moment for you.
Right.
And you fully went giving so much love, of course, to Prashanth, because he honestly has stood by you, right?
Correct.
And for you, it's I know it's a big one for you.
Correct.
And it's not always easy to have someone stand by and sort of look at you and say you can do this.
Correct.
Particularly when you've not been playing leading role for a very long time, right?
Correct.
I know that there are struggles involved there.
Correct.
But I see the gratefulness and, like I said, the loyalty that you have towards him as well. Does that help when you have such a collaboration with him?
Of course.
And a collaborator like that, because he stands by you?
Of course it helps. The bond between both of us helps me to understand him as a human being first, so that on a basic level, if I have a more understanding of him, then on the filmmaking side, I'll understand the sensibilities that he likes to, he wants me to portray on screen. Definitely that helps a lot. Ma'am, one thing is I have zero insecurities. I'm very, very thankful to my director. I'm here only because they have made stories. I'm here only because he chose me. That is the reason. So there's no two ways about it. I don't shy away from saying that. I will only grow. The thing is, it is not about this film or next film. We are friends for a long time. We've been trying to get into the industry for about 6-7 years. We did our trials. Then Prashanth Garu went ahead and did few other films. I went ahead and did a few roles, and then I got my first break through Zombie Ready. So it was a very long journey, and I'm sure in the next 15 years also we will be relevant in the industry making films, and we will collaborate again and again. So this is a very long journey, long process. So there are no insecurities between both of us, and we are very, very honest and open with each other. He doesn't express himself much. Not with me, with anybody, but I'm very honest and open regarding anything.
Let's see, we'll try today.
Yeah,
Let's
please
try.
do, yeah.
Maybe you'll help me a little bit.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
So in that aspect, Teja, the other person that the other superstar that you really give a lot of credit to is, of course, Chiranjeevi Garu.
Right, ma'am.
And you worked with a lot of people in your career.
Right.
And people who don't know, of course, like you already said, you are a kind of a child superstar because you worked, not just that, at that time you went ahead later and you did very important roles in like the biggest of, actors' films.
Right.
And you've been very patient to see my time will come in that way. And
Yes.
But it must have been quite the experiencing standing there and watching everybody who's great, from Mahesh Babu to Prabhas to everybody you worked in that aspect of it. But a little on that, and also on the bond that you share with Chiranjeevi, because you really did point out, right, like in that launch as well, that they say that Lord Rama had
sent him in, sent Hanu Man in the form of Chiranjeevi Garu to our to help us.
That statement is massive because it shows the amount of respect you have for him.
Yeah.
So elaborate on that for me.
I started acting when I was 2.5 years old. My first film was Chudalanundi.
His film.
That's his film, and that went on to become a massive hit. Then suddenly offers started pouring in. I don't come from any film background. I'll just quickly give a brief about my film career, and then we'll get back to Hanu Man. So somebody has seen me somewhere, and they've taken my parents' number from one of my cousins, and they called up my parents and they've asked. My parents are not from any film background. They were surprised, and they didn't understand how to react when some producer is calling asking your 2-year-old son to act in a film. Then later my father understood that film is Chiranjeevi Garu's. He's the biggest superstar in Tollywood. So why not, let's give it a try. Just one film, there's an opportunity that is falling in my son's lap when he's 2.5 years old, 2 years old. Why to stop when something is, some destiny is written. When some destiny is written. That is how it started. Then suddenly offers started pouring in. Then I've done about 15 to 20 films, something around that. They were all okay-ish, and suddenly one day Chiranjeevi Garu, he himself gave me a role in the film Indra.
Correct.
That is quite popular in the Hindi audience also. It's called Indra the Tiger.
Correct. It is very popular.
So I played the younger Chiranjeevi Garu, and he himself has given that role to me. And there are multiple situations where, more than giving an opportunity or considering me in the films, as a human being, I'm just a child artist, but he treated me equal to his son every time. And my birthday is right after Chiranjeevi Garu's birthday. So he remembers that, and he sends me some gift, some cake for about 10 years continuously. He did that. So I have utmost respect. He's the biggest superstar in Tollywood, and for somebody who is not related to you in any which way, if somebody is doing that, we have to learn a lot from them. I try to learn a lot from Chiranjeevi Garu, but it is not humanly possible for us to behave like he does.
And coming back to you, on that note, I know there have been comparisons, of course, with Adipurush, and you, and besides HanuMan being the connect here, you also are the middle point, right? You've seen, I mean, when your teasers had come out, both of them were nearby. There were massive comparisons. And I think there were a lot of comparisons also on the basis of the kind of budget that you have managed to do this film in, which we must talk about, because it's very difficult to pull off a movie like this in the budget that you've managed to pull off. And I think that is incredible. We must talk about that. I know that you must have initial reactions, and they were like, you know, I mean, with the kind of budget that they did and the kind of VFX is incredible. And they unfortunately at the time had received a lot of flack for, you know, not investing so much, and then they made the trailer and all of that. But you've also done the entire pre-release event. And Prabhas particularly was so happy. He called on the stage and, you know, he said that I have to thank this person because you made it like a full fair event. It was not just an event, there were fireworks, it was massive. I want to know how, why, and how does that connection go beyond just that, because you are very happy to be a part of Adipurush in just any way. So I want to know, I think there's more to that story. And of course, how have you managed to pull off this film? And I'm going to, please correct me at any point if I'm wrong. I'm assuming it's around 55 crore or 57 crore, but I'm not taking in the 5-6 crores you might have spent in marketing and otherwise. So, am I right with my estimations?
The initial budget was much lesser than what it is today. It was definitely what the paper, I mean, like at that time, whatever the news was there, it was quite right. See, for me, filmmaking is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. So in Telegu, we have Illu Katti Chudu, Pelli Chesi Chudu.
Build a house and tell, otherwise marry a daughter in your house.
That is like the most difficult
These
thing.
are the most
you do
difficult
this,
things, yeah.
and you've done. You've
seen everything.
You've done like the most crazy, most difficult thing in your life.
Correct.
Then I also added cinema tischudu. You make a film which is as difficult as these two.
No, the other two are very easy now.
Compared to
building a house and getting married is very easy, but making
people
film
who are not, for them, you're just, don't be mean.
We are not.
You're like, just because it's easy for you and all to find it, there are a lot of, ask them.
No, to get someone married,
Correct.
not marry you. So, at any cinema, I mean, like ranging from a very small film to a very big film, I really respect, even if the films don't work, whenever I meet a director. There was this one particular director who's made a couple of films, and his films didn't work, and he is heavily trolled. And when he called me, my AD was there right next to me, and when he called, I immediately answered his call, and I started saying sir, and all that. And my AD was like, sir, why are you giving respect to him, sir? He's such a bad filmmaker. Why are you calling him sir? He doesn't even deserve being called sir. Such a bad filmmaker he is. Then I schooled my AD saying that, irrespective of what the result of the film, look at the effort that filmmaker is putting in. So nothing. We are working on in an industry which with only like 1% success rate, probably less than that. But still, we are trying to be in that 1%. Imagine 99 people have failed, right? So if the effort for a small film, even for a Bahubali or our film or a very small film, the effort of the director will be the same. But when for people to say wrong, like for people to not like your work, there can be 100 reasons. But I felt really bad whenever somebody's work gets heavily criticized. So that was my initial reaction. I felt really sorry. I was not really enjoying all that comparison and all that, but at the same time, that was I was feeling very empathetic to the other director. But when I was asked to do the event, I was so busy shooting this film. I was shooting some other film simultaneously. I was doing an ad film. I was most busiest in my life at that time. But for this event, I had to spend almost like a week. I didn't even ask them for any money or anything. I just thought, the film is about Ram, right? You know, like when Sriram asks Hanuman to do something, so how can Hanuman say no?
How sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they asked me to do it. I put everything on hold. I've kept everything on hold. I've never done a pre-release event before in my life.
Which is why I specifically asked this question.
Yeah, I've never done it. But when they trusted me that I can probably design it and do it in a very better way, I thought when somebody puts that kind of trust in you, and opportunity is something that I really value in life. Because I have struggled almost like together. I think we've struggled for some 6 to 8 years before doing our first film, and I have struggled almost like more than 12 years to become a director. So to get that opportunity, one opportunity. So I value an opportunity, whatever may it be. Even if it is a small short film also, it's an opportunity.
Sure.
So that particular event was such an opportunity to give whatever I can. So I immediately said yes, and I've spent a week on it, and I've done my best that I could. And fans have loved it, fans have owned me, and I never expected anything back from it, because for me, somebody asked me to do something, I'll just go and do it if I can do it.
Sure.
I think at some point in life it will all come back. Just keep giving it to the universe, and universe will give it back to you at the right moment.
And it is giving it back.
And I think that moment is now.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
We sincerely hope.
But I also thought that you're doing it, you also did it because you have a bond with Prabhas in that way.
Not
also,
really,
right?
ma'am.
No, not at the time.
No, I've never met him before in my life. Only I didn't even think that he knows my name.
Really? Because the way he said it, it felt like, oh, y'all have, you know what I mean?
Like when they called me and they said, Prabhas sir wants you to do it. I think he said your name and he said he's the right guy to do it.
See?
I said like, oh, he knows me? Really? Wow. And he knows me and also he trusts me. Wow, great. So let's do it.
I asked you about that comparison question, and you immediately said it was slightly awkward for you because you didn't know, and because you all were being told, and whereas Omraut's Adipurush was getting that. And truly, did you only feel the awkward part of it because they were also acknowledging your effort? So were you going through the thing like, I wish it was not attached to that, and was that how you were feeling?
Absolutely, yes. See, when I'm pricing you,
yeah,
but I'm just by pricing you by comparing with something else, then this price doesn't have a value to it. So I was kind of happy with the recognition individually it is getting, but in comparison, whatever I was receiving, I was not happy with it, because it involves in hurting the other person.
So that is why you were silent a little bit, weren't you?
I avoided the entire media interaction.
Yeah, even you were, right?
You need not put somebody down
sure.
to show somebody in a good light. Yeah.
So I think that was kind of, I don't want to use the word, but yeah, I mean like,
you don't use it.
No, I'm saying it
I've avoided all the interviews at that time. Yeah. Many people have wanted to talk to me, but I said let's not at this point. Yeah.
And because you're also being really honest, and of course, I don't see an iota. Of course, humility is 100% there, but I don't see an iota of insecurity. I'll ask you this: did it scare you even like 2%? I'm saying 1%. When a film of that stature and the film with that actor, and particularly because of course it's a mythological angle that you were doing, the story of course didn't have connection. Like you say, yours is it's kind of literally a parallel universe. Correct. Honestly, that you've created.
It is.
And of course, you've taken mythology as one of its track. Correct. To sort of get your universe.
Correct,
kind of validated. Correct. A little bit, right? I want to understand, but was it a little worrisome when you saw the kind of sort of response, because they were ripped apart post-release as well, and of course the collection suffered and stuff. Were you worried in any way, saying that?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Okay. Because I'm always I would give equal. I would put equal effort. I would give equal everything of me, irrespective of the other work. So I didn't work more. I didn't work less. So I told my team also, let's work the same way that we have been doing already.
Were the team worried?
Team was
super worried.
Very worried.
Exactly why my question.
I was worried.
You were worried?
He was worried.
What did you call him and tell him?
Worried because not because the post-release what happened to that film or nothing regarding that. Because we are being compared to a film that is made on a 500 crore budget, we are not even 10% of it. Not even 10% of it. So when they are comparing to that level, what are they expecting out of
y'all?
Yeah. What are they? Okay, we within our budget limits, whatever Prashanth Garu has put in his blood and sweat for 2 years, and we are just trying to make that film theatrically experiential within the budgets we have. That is our only intention to make. He has crafted each and every shot day in day out every day. That is all we were thinking about. But suddenly, if they're comparing it with a 500 crore budget, then of course we'll be a little worried. But we had to set our trailer out to tell them clearly what we are doing, and again they've received it with open arms, with a lot of love.
What did you see finally to sort of calm everybody else?
He is always calm. Like you know his name? You know his name means calm. Prashanth means calm. Okay?
Correct.
So he's usually like that. Even if you tell that the set will collapse in the next 2 seconds, he'll say, okay, 2 seconds are there. Meanwhile, we'll shoot.
But it helps, no? In high tension, pressure,
helps for him.
High budget films.
Helps for him, not for us.
But it's the combination. It's the combination. So he is always worried about all the stuff. So I'm never worried. So it's the
actors are like that, you see.
Yeah.
the
Somebody has to
that
be
keeps
there.
us going.
Yeah.
But because you say that, that's the combination of it. You all also have sort of, I mean, with all humility again, said that, you know, like for example, what Ram Charan is to Rajamouli, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like Prashanth is that for me.
Yeah, Puri Jagannath Garu believed in Ravi Teja Garu for
Correct.
3 films in a row, and he didn't work with anybody else, but worked with Ravi Garu and gave him his career's biggest hits. Rajamouli Garu gave Ram Charan Garu's career's biggest hits.
That's true.
And he has formed his career in the initial stage only. For his second film, he has given Magadhira
Correct.
for Ram Charan Garu. That is what I meant.
In a nice way, but it's also true what I said at the last part, that combination has worked. When I see the two of you talking about trust, this is why it also works, right? It's okay. It doesn't make you at all cocky or doesn't make you proud in any, like in a wrong sense, right?
Yeah.
But in your heart, you know that we work, right? Which is kind of nice.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about it.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to add to this, the statement when you with the one that he just explained?
I mean, like I said, one has to worry, one has to stay calm. So when the situation is something that gets benefited if the person who worries more attends it, so I let him do that job. Imagine this promotions, this whole, all this stuff that has to be like all this complicated stuff. I let him do all that stuff. Okay, because he enjoys all this chaos.
I don't enjoy chaos.
You
Why would
enjoy
I?
chaos, I know.
Why would I?
He needs, he wants,
Yeah.
some people are, so I'm the opposite. I'll deal the stuff that, I can do it in a peaceful manner. So in those places, I'll not let him be. Yeah.
It's kind of cute, elder brotherly protective, kind of nice. But I'm going to say a few things I noticed, and please correct me if you feel differently. The towards the end, the BGM that you've used just reminds me of Stranger Things. Was that the inspiration?
Which part, ma'am?
Right towards the teaser.
Title పడేటప్పుడు అంటున్నారు.
It's that
Teaser or trailer, ma'am?
No,
Trailer,
I'm talking about the
3-minute trailer, yeah.
Right, the trailer, right towards the end. Right towards the end, there is this certain music. Can I, if you want, I can.
Yeah, please.
Sure, please,
Okay.
please.
Sorry, I know I'm taking. I'll wrap it in 10. I just.
Okay, call the music director now.
Oh no, it's. But listen, I'm
But
pretty
usually-
sure.
Please,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that you have
We are
input.
not aware of this at all.
I know I've seen the first.
This is it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Now you
is.
say it, yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling.
This has a larger extension in the film. When he's cut it into a small bit, maybe that's being.
No. In this, in that particular music, that is the lead instrument.
And I have a feeling you've seen Stranger Things, obviously.
I've seen the first season.
Yeah, because I have a feeling you like sci-fi and you
Yeah.
see the references here. I know that you must have seen it.
Yeah.
So you hear what I hear, right? A little bit.
Now you mention it, I can hear that instrument. Usually the instrument that I was hearing when this thing, I was listening to the rhythm more than this particular instrument.
But very interestingly, it's become something else. But it's there. I find that interesting. Was there ever a reference? No.
Maybe to the music director, but
okay,
for
please
me,
let me know later.
what I can hear was that so these are the layers that I could connect with. So this particular layer, I never imagined, like somebody will point that out.
I'm sorry.
No issues at all. We are surprised to know this.
I love it.
It's fun.
We are surprised to know.
I actually love it on that note. But coming back to the trailer again, it's very interestingly, besides the orb and the reference to it and how that it splits open and then the energy that you see and all of that, I want to understand, are there any references that you've taken it from? Were there these stories that you've seen that comes together? Because as a filmmaker, you're always observing things, right? And I feel like you've put in a lot of things that have inspired you in some way or the other. Can you tell me some of the important references that you've used in HanuMan without giving away too much, of course, whatever is in the trailer?
See, most of the references have come from our Ramayana stories only. So there are multiple, we've recreated similar situations.
Okay.
If you look at the trailer, there is a shot where, he'll be lifting a mountain. Right?
That is of course,
so
symbolic.
there is it's very symbolic that, we are trying to recreate few scenes that will give audience that goosebumps. Yeah.
So then I'll ask you another question.
Sure.
Was there an ode to Rajamouli when you're making him run with the cheetah? Because it's very RRR. I'm not saying
you can say the entire
shot.
film is an ode to Rajamouli.
Exactly.
Is it an ode to Rajamouli?
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm getting it right.
Yeah.
There's also a little maybe that's just a similar thing of it now because Kantara became so big. I feel like people refer to it. Is that also like a ode?
See, these are the things that we have in our culture.
It is.
We have when we
I know,
watch
even,
Kantara.
like the entire Kantara is a proper ritual that is a part of.
So the similar rituals we have. Even in Andhra Pradesh, we have Punakam. When we were kids, we used to go and experience or be part of it. So we have. So that's the similarity. Yeah. I in fact asked Rishab Shetty to play that particular role in our film.
Oh really?
The one who finally Samudrakani sir played, no?
Correct.
So the one who finally tells HanuMan it is time for you to come, right? So initially after Kantara I asked him if he can play that role, but he was too busy with other stuff, so he couldn't do it.
But I love it. I love how you say that this entire film is an ode to Rajamouli. So like both of you are die-hard Rajamouli.
Definitely. He has laid the road and we are just driving our cars on that road.
Yeah, it's relatively easy for us to drive on that road, yeah.
One other interesting thing was the fact that, you made the sister so protective that when they come and try to go for him, to try to see he's the person I want to sort of take the Shakti from, she actually starts fighting.
Correct.
Very rarely done, particularly in superhero films.
See, no matter
please tell me why that was important. I have a feeling there's a story here.
So when I was pitching that character to Varalakshmi Sharad Kumar, so she is just given one of the biggest hits in Telugu cinema, and we didn't expect her to play that role in our film because she was very popular at that point. She was, and she was acting as a main lead. So to ask her to play the sister's role, I thought she was gonna kill me. But when I told her, see, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how big you are, what kind of powers you possess, for your mom you are always just a son. For your elder sister, she was just her little brother.
Yeah.
No matter how much power, even if you are a superhero, for your elder brother, you just her little brother.
Yeah.
So she would always want to protect you. So that particular thing is what really struck her chord, and she immediately said yes to that role.
I love it because we rarely see that, do we?
Yeah.
If you think of all the big ones, you'll rarely see.
Not just in this film, but in all Prashanth's previous work, when he writes a female character, he writes it with full conviction and full strength. He values the female characters utmost, and they drive the story. They're not there for the sake of it. They drive the story.
Even with the third superhero film that we are doing in the series is a female-centered superhero film.
Yeah, in the series, and that's interesting already because you've thought it like a series,
Yeah.
and I love that. Right, from the, and I'll tell you why I'm asking this to you is because I don't think a lot of people know this, but I don't think a lot of people also know the amount of times you all had to sort of postpone this, and how long you all have been planning to do this.
It was actually like it was projected. It was promoted like that on in the internet.
Yeah.
We actually announced only one date before this. It was May 12th. That was the first release date that we announced, and then Jan 12th. That's it. People who are very excited about the film, they started
speculating that it is coming for August 15th, it is coming for October.
And we used to think that, our release date is this, okay, we should work for it. But that was actually a good problem to have. People were actually anticipating, even if you look at our Book My Show interests, so they are like massive.
I know.
Fire.
Yeah.
Besides the fact you're looking at a series, you also come at Sankranti where you have multiple releases.
Correct.
And I still don't see you all worried. You know, I know he's Shant and all of that, but you know, you of course have Mahesh Babu's Guntur coming up, you have so many other films. Was there a discussion ever saying, are we doing the right thing? Is it okay? Because you know, you have so many other films at the same time.
Of course there was a discussion, and of course he was worried, and of course.
This is nice. See, every time somebody is worried on the team, that's me. Okay.
Of course he's worried, and of course I'm okay about it. And then, in Telegu, I don't know about how it is in North India, but we watch in any number of films that get released in Sankranti. Even if it's 3 films, 4 films, we kind of watch. I watched 5 films in a day in theatre. In my life, twice I did that. So it doesn't matter. Even if it is 3 films, it is fine. But the only problem that is coming now is there are 5 films that were trying to get released. So now 1 film has moved out of the race, but.
Every time, usually, there are 3 films for sure.
Ravi Teja's film hasn't postponed.
Yeah, Ravi Garu's film has postponed. Every time, usually, there are 3 films or 4 films. This time, it is that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of theatres and all that, but I think all the films will work.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
I love. But that's fantastic, isn't it? Here, it's a massive thing in the film industry. But I love this answer because all of you all are being very collaborated within the industry as well, right?
Of course, for this film, Ravi Garu's film was supposed to release the next day of our release until the other day.
Yeah.
He postponed later. But he still dubbed for character in a film for Telegu.
Yeah.
He's such a generous person with kind heart and full of love. Every time he talks to me about this film, he's like, "Re, isari meer gattiga kotalra." This is what he says every time he talks.
Please tell me what that means. I love what
Isari meer hit gatti kotalra ante. That means you guys should hit it out of the park.
Ooh, I hope you do.
Yeah. So that is the kind of love he shows on us. Yeah.
Such a beautiful industry, like.
No, but it is fantastic. But we should end on that note, and I'd like to end it with this: that you all are having such a great time. I really hope that the movie does well, and I see the both of you are absolutely fantastic. Tell me if there is one dream project that you get to create, which will have the 2 of you and 1 more person, any director and actor that you get to add in this duo and make it a trio. Who would that be and why?
Director add chestala actor add cheyali. I'm sorry, we cannot add a director. No, he's already the director. We cannot have 2 directors. We can have 2 actors.
I mean, I know people who have collaborated as directors, but I don't think it'll work.
Then I'll want Prashanth Square.
See, what I said. I began by the loyalty, right? You see the loyalty. Okay, so what?
I didn't mean Prashanth.
Oh.
I meant
Neel.
Prashanth Varma, Prashanth Neel.
Not that much loyalty.
I think this is the Moe moment here. I think this is the Moe moment. I'm sorry. I have full sympathy for you. This is our Moe moment. No problem. Thank you. And any other actor you want to add? I was like, you see the loyalty. He's like Prashanth Neel. Okay, any other actor?
No, but that's great combination. No, both of them are very quiet.
Agree. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just laughing at.
He's full of color. He's full of darks.
Dark grey.
No, probably. Probably it's like probably it will be a spoiler maybe about Hanuman 2 and all.
But we already know that will happen. You already are looking at it like a series, right?
Yeah.
You are not looking as only one part. I mean, cannot be.
So
Hanuman 2 will
Hanuman
happen.
obviously have a sequel, and who will play the god Hanuman is the thing that we don't want to reveal now.
నువ్వు అంతా చెప్పేది you don't want to reveal it.
Because we could have told the name of that particular actor who should be playing that thing, but it's a very big spoiler for the film.
Sure. No, we don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah.
You must have realized how I have watched your trailer.
Yeah. Many
And the
times, I'm
songs.
sure. Yeah.
And I hope you really
But you have done your homework a lot for this interview. Thank you for respecting
really
us and
course.
doing your homework for doing this interview. Thank you.
That's really kind of you. Thank you so much, and thank you for being who you are, man. This is really, really awesome to see people so invested in just being themselves. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I'm sure it's going to do really well.
Thank you.
Thank you.